When I miss a few dance lessons and I go back to dance with my partner, I kind of forget the steps. You see, I am not a natural dancer and I need lots and lots of practice to be able to remember the steps. Now it's funny because there are certain steps and the basic ones that I've practiced the longest that I know how to do. But it's the advanced steps when things get a little bit more advanced and I don't have as much practice. Those are the ones that if I try them once or twice and I don't practice it over and over again, I miss out on the on that move, and then boom, doesn't really work. So you know what? Selling is kind of the same thing, and there are some basic steps that you probably do very, very well, and others that you need to practice a little bit more. So let me share with you some of those steps that you got to practice that would make the biggest impact on your results. Hi, I'm Ramez Helou. I'm the founder and keynote speaker of the Academy for Sales Excellence, where I simply speak at events and conferences to inspire, educate, and motivate sales teams to sell more, faster, and profitably. So what are these key steps that you need to practice and practice until you perfect them? Well, I mean, let's face it, right? How often does a sales professional have to use a phone to make an appointment? And if you don't have a properly rehearsed phone script, you're probably missing out on some opportunities. So today, there are certain questions that the phone script must answer. So of course, sometimes some words might change, yet if you have something written down in front of you, even if it gets deviated, you can always look back and follow it. Of course, don't sound like you're reading it, right? So that gets you in the door. Now, once you get in the door, of course, you have to have certain elements to help you open a visit. So relaxing the customer. There's a very famous idea that I've learned many years ago in the direct sales business in the US, where I create a win-win agreement with the customer. And of course, the customer at the beginning, they're very resistant. So you might tell them, Mr. Customer, I'm going to make a deal with you. Now they're like, you're going to make a deal with me? What's the deal? So that you wake them up. And you simply say, look, today I'm not here to sell you anything. All I'd like to do is simply get to understand a bit more about your business, about your current way of operation, and possibly show you some other ways that I've helped other customers to overcome those. Now, the only thing I'll ask from you is the following, is many customers, as I go through through what we can do for them, a lot of time they get very interested. And if from what I'm discussing with you, there is something that you like, you feel can benefit you, I'll ask you to let me know, and together I'll work out a way that allows us to possibly support each other. Sounds good? Now, you see those words? If I were you, I'll take those words and I'll write them down word for word and I'll memorize them. And the reason being is because those words I've used and have helped me to be able to let people know that I'm not here to sell them anything. And as a matter of fact, you cannot, all right, make someone buy something they don't need, they don't have a need for, and you cannot make them buy something from you if they don't like it and they don't trust you. So when you open up like that, it actually lets them know that you really want their best interest in mind. And please do have their best interest in mind so that you can help them and they can eventually help you get what you want. I learned something many years ago is there's nothing called, in selling, you are an open book. Meaning your emotions on the inside, your intentions are going to be clearly visible through the way you behave and the way you communicate with your customers. So ensure that you are behaving and communicating the right way. Now there are a few other areas, for example, getting commitment or asking for referral. I was in a sales training once and I had trained people how to ask for referrals. And I told them, he who gets the most referrals on the next training session and can demonstrate that referral approach for me word for word is going to get one of those bills, right? So I hold the bill up and I ask the person who had the most referral, I said, hey, can you share that with me? And he goes, well, no, not really. I said, today you lost one of those 500 dirham bills. Tomorrow, if you're on the field and you don't know how to ask for referral, you lose not just one of those, but possibly 100 or 1,000 of these, or maybe even 1,000,000 of these. So again, key elements, key areas for you to be prepared so that you practice and practice and practice until you know you got your stuff right. As I shared with you in one of the previous lessons, you got to have the words so that when you are in front of a customer, you don't have to worry about the words or what you work on. is simply the engagement strategy and the approach that you're using. And then everything else happens. So until next time, see you soon.